Hi guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wilds. I am doing the 7-day survival challenge as put out by the Wooded Beardsman. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, I recommend it. One of my favorites. He does it pretty much every year, I think, for the last several years. Last year, I sent him a message saying, hey, is it cool if I take this idea and do it as well? He said, by all means, let me know how it worked out. Well, this is actually the first opportunity I've had to get 7 full days to myself in the woods. Nobody else around, nobody else sort of getting in the way or not wanting to stay the full 7 days or anything like that. This is just me. He usually brings a buddy of his. I'm not doing that. So my canoe is loaded. I'm pretty much ready to go. The next thing I have to do is to weigh in so that you guys know what I weigh leaving, what I weigh when I come back. The goal of this challenge is to live on only wild caught and gathered food and not lose any weight, or ideally maybe even gain some weight. So I got my scale here. Let's weigh in and let's get started.
All right. So as you can see, okay, I am about 201 pounds. So, boat's loaded. I'm about to take off. There is one small portage and the campsite is 5 kilometers from here. Whew. I made it to the campsite. It's now 1 o'clock. Monday, June 8th. Oops. 1 o'clock, Monday, June 8th. So, I'm going to set up my tent and I'm going to set up my hammock. Because you just never know. Some nights it's really cold, other nights it's really hot. And I want to have an option as to where I'm going to sleep. I can be warm, I can be cool. So, yeah, setting up the campsite now. So it's now 2:15. I've gathered up a little bit of firewood. Got my tent and my hammock set up with the tarp, obviously. I've gathered a little bit of firewood and I've got some green wood to start to build my chair out of. So this is officially day 1. Okay, the only thing that I've had today is coffee. And I actually brought coffee with me because there's basically 2 cheats that are allowed in the
7-day survival challenge, wilderness survival challenge. You're allowed to bring spices just to spice up or flavor up whatever it is you manage to get, and you're allowed to bring coffee. Now, that being said, I went to the Dollar Tree and just bought some, like a brick of cheap coffee there, so it's probably not even good coffee. So I'll be less likely to just sit here and drink coffee all day long. Probably. But I do have my spice kit and I do have coffee. And I did have coffee today and nothing else. Although some water sounds really good right about now. It's probably like 25, 26 degrees Celsius. It's pretty warm. There's not much of a breeze. There's the deer flies and the horse flies are merciless. Not a lot of mosquitoes or black flies, which I thought there would be. It's mostly deer flies. They're driving me nuts. They're getting all in my hair and everything. So I go into the woods to get firewood or building material, and it's just deer flies like swarms. And then I come out of the woods and it's just merciless sun. So it's definitely time for some water. I gotta find my water filter bag and get myself something to drink. Now the beauty about these chairs is I've got a backrest. Everything's, comfy. I've actually fastened this a little bit higher than it was supposed to be, which should have been around knee height. And I obviously messed that up. But the beauty of these chairs, unlike camp chairs that you carry in and out, and yeah, it takes some effort putting this together. And how much is that in comparison to lugging in and out a chair? But some of the camp chairs don't do that you can do with these, that I like. You can take the back, lean it way back. You can adjust it however you like. And now, you could just kick back, relax, and have a nap or whatever. And when you want to sit properly upright again, just take that back leg and move it forward. Now, as for the height of this thing here, if I get sick of it, I'll just cut an inch or two off the bottom of the legs here and it'll be fine. I don't have to, mess around with any retying anything. It'd be way quicker. Just cut an inch or two off the bottom of those legs. Not a problem. So, a little bit of firewood. Still got more to get. Campsite is up. I have to make sort of a lean-to style shelter to put my gear under. Otherwise, it's all coming in the tent with me, and I think I'd rather do a gear storage rather than sleep with everything. Because the plan is to be here for 7 days, so might as well have it somewhat accessible. There is now a beaver swimming more or less over where that moose was. Now, full disclosure on what I'm doing here. So first of all, every member of my family knows where I am. I will be checking in periodically via text message. This is my brother's campsite that he comes to for his Victoria Day weekend camping trips. So, basically everybody knows more or less where this is.
Plus, most of my nephews, both of my brothers, they know exactly where I am. So if they don't hear from me, chances are they're going to come out looking for me. Also, as I said before, the two cheats that are allowed is coffee and spices. So the coffee's sitting over there. That's my spice kit. And then I have Coffee Mate, and for sugar I'm using monk fruit sweetener. 0 carbs, no sugar, 0 calories. It's basically like calories 0, fat 0, sodium 0, sugars 0, protein 0, sugar, alcohol 4 grams. But with this stuff here, you can't digest it, so you get the flavor, but that's it. You don't digest it, you just pass it out clean. So no calories from, I'm not even having sugar in my coffee. It's 0 calorie carb sweetener. Also, in the event of some kind of major emergency, I have 3 MREs. That's basically 3 days worth of food. Of course, the winter. Okay, so as I was saying before, the wind started picking up, which it's dying down now. I'll try and get this done and over with. I have 3 MREs. So this one is hash brown potatoes with bacon, peppers, and onions. This one is beef ravioli in meat sauce. And this one is cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. And they are in this pack that I do not intend to touch at all unless there is some sort of major emergency or if I get badly injured. Also, I brought a cast iron Dutch oven, and I brought, oh, come on, there we are, that, and that. Those are full of, not vegetable oil, sorry, okay, had a mosquito chewing up my foot here, so, okay, so I brought these, and these are full of olive oil. They are for keeping my axe, my cook pot, anything that's carbon steel, machete, I think, maybe, any of that at all. This is for keeping all of that good. I do not intend to consume it for calories, but in conditioning my cook pot, I obviously will, get a little of that into my food, but it's necessary to bring something or other that is more or less food grade along for me to keep my stainless steel proper, good, kind of, whatever. And emergency backup cell phone, and that is pretty much that. So that backpack more or less is my little cheats: coffee, whitener, sweetener, and my catastrophe kind of thing. So that's my bad news bag, basically. I don't know what else. Everything else, tackle box, fishing pole, my my axe, all my camera equipment, clothes, my camp pack, my 2 shelter options that I brought, machete, my camp knife, both my saws, the Boreal 21 and the Silky Gomboy. Extra tripod. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So the only actual food I brought are those MREs. That's, like I say, emergency. I'm going to subsist completely off of whatever I can forage or catch. Which might be an idea to get started on that soon, because I am getting a little bit hungry. Oh. And it is now 3:41. So it's going to be dark around 9 o'clock. I'm going to have food and firewood by then. We'll get that started.
Alright guys, first firelight of the camp trip. Probably the second or third one this year, actually.
Now we're going to build up some coals and we're going to make some food.
For dinner, for my first night here at the camp, I have pike and I have cattail ends. Not a bad dinner at all. Pike and cattail, I can get in on that. I also have some sheep sorrel, which will kind of help give a little bit of the lemony kind of flavor to the pike. All in all, I have to say I'm pretty happy. I fished for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The sun was kind of dipping low, and I still had firewood to get, so I gave up and I gathered up cattails. I took a walk around the area because I know there's stuff around here. Well, I can't get within 20 feet of a bullfrog back at the swamp over here, so frog legs is out. Okay, let me see. There are strawberries, there's blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, bunchberries, there's cranberries. None of them are in season. None. Not even the strawberries. Everything is still flowered. I think I did this a little bit early.
So I figured, okay, well, I can't just eat cattails. I mean, you know, I don't want to. So I figured maybe a blackbird. There's a lot of blackbirds around here. I bullseyed a blackbird, and it dropped down into some bushes that bushes along the side of the riverbank. And it wasn't totally dead. It got lost. It was flopping around, and I couldn't retrieve it. I hate doing that, but I could not retrieve it. So I figured, well, I still don't want to eat just cattail. So I'm going to just stand offshore and just try a few casts and see what I can get. Very first cast, I got this little guy. He ain't big. He's got some bites on him. The bigger fish are definitely picking on him. But hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get right now. I'm hungry. I didn't eat much yesterday. I haven't eaten at all today. So I'm happy to have this guy. I'm going to clean him up and get ready to cook because I got a pretty good cold base by now too. Oh, so it is somewhere between 9 and 9:30. My dinner's ready. I've got more on the fire, but I got quite the spread here. Two fillets from that pike, the cattail, and that there is the fatty part of the belly. So, I'm so hungry too. Oh man, let's go for the belly first. Man. Didn't peel the cattail quite enough. Wow. Pike belly is very rich. It is very fatty. It's not quite the same as the fatty part of the salmon belly. Top notch. Oh. Alright. I'm eating well tonight, guys. Ooh. Well, guys. Jesus, flashlight is awfully bright. I got my canoe to the campsite, set up the campsite. I got everything pretty much I needed to do out of the way today, completely, and had dinner. It's now probably getting close to 10, and wow, what a long day. I'm tired. See you guys on day 2.